we definitely have values.
No.
We are very, very high valued people. Why? Even in instrument that should guide in values, the law, Charity, you're a lawyer, the law requires that every political party should, on top of having a constitution, should deposit with the Electoral Commission code of conduct. UPC simply says in the constitution, there shall be a code of conduct. It just mentioned that. The rest of the party, nothing. We are the only party with a registered, deposited code of conduct, and which shows sanctions on do's and do nots. Do's and do nots. We stick.
Let me ask you, and then what's the difference between you and the UPC? You have it, you'd never use it. Because your people were complaining about corruption, and I know the NRM code of conduct is totally against corruption and use of money in elections. And it's something that your chairman has been speaking about for quite some time. But nothing has been done.
Kenneth, just to add
do you want to tell us that there's going to be an investigation and repercussions for those people
Kenneth,
who are using
just
the money?
to add on, Chris Bariomosi is the Minister of Information and National Guidance. He stood on a microphone. I don't know whether Major Awich is going to call this also rumors. He stood on a microphone before the chairman of SEC and said this election is a sham. And nobody argued. He said it's a sham, and for that matter, I am not going to participate in it.
I think you were concluding your point, responding to some of the issues that were put across. Please do go forward with your
I was on the point of values, because my colleagues have asked and have even said that NRM has no moral fiber and no values. I said that we have values, and I said ways of enforcing or determining values is first of all the institutional framework, because you can't stand up and say I have values in my stomach or in my heart or in my head. The institutional framework is you have documented documents that guide you, that if somebody falls short, it can be held accountable. Yes, I said we are the only party in Uganda with a written code of conduct. Even with institutional framework like courts, we have judicial system inside the court itself. And we have cases all over the country where party members have been put to hold by the respective court system of the party. So we have a lot of things that are do's and do nots. Now, if we have fallen short in obeying our own set of rules of code of conduct, that happens in any society. How many penal code sections do we have in Uganda, and it is still broken every day and every day? So we have it. What matters is how do we tackle or how do we use it, this kind of code of conduct. Of course, we're also aware that if you use the law to the letter, for example, we have clear offenses provided for, or prohibit what we call prohibited conduct, not offenses, prohibited conduct. But sometimes if you stick to it to the letter, you may end up breaking. So sometimes when we let it go, you say like we are not observing the code of conduct. But even in courts of law, DPP pulls out some prosecutions.
All right.
We have seen DPP dropping.
To be fair to you, we would like to actually know what is in that code of conduct and whether it applies to some of the things that happened in Kololo, including bribery, intimidation. You know, we saw senior leaders, people like Dr. Chris Bariomosi, the Honorable Captain Mike Mukula, and the others who actually stood up and said, there's things that are going on here to the extent that I cannot put my integrity on the line to participate in these elections.
Yes, there are things which happen, like bribery. We have time and again complain about bribery, including the chairman himself. He has talked, he has guided us, he has warned us, he has done this. Bribery exists and we all condemn it, okay? But also the party members, in the heat of the emotions, especially when you are losing elections, some are tempted to make statements that go over and above, and which at some point, I think when they cool down and you put them to task to give evidence, they wouldn't give it. But bribery is also one of the prohibited conduct. Even use of bad language, okay, is one with the prohibited language. I mean, things. Supporting another candidate against a flag bearer is a prohibited code of conduct. In fact, others are punishable by dismissal from the party. So the prohibited list of prohibited conduct are very many, including bribery. And some of us have even gone ahead to ask that if the son of Kaguta Yoweri Museveni has really managed to bring a human face to the army, because compared to the past, the army is more domesticated than it was. Why can't he prevail on corruption and of bribery in this case? We have called up against about that, and he has responded by warning, by cautioning, and thinking we should unleash the code of conduct.
All right. So can you tell us whether this code of conduct is actually going to be applied? Because it implies, from your own words, there are leaders who were actually elected due to the bribery they were involved in.
From my own words, I said what?
You concurred that there was bribery.
But doesn't say. I'm saying you are mixing things.
I'm not mixing things.
Let me say it again. What I'm saying?
You say you have a code of conduct as a party, and you do admit that there was bribery in Kololo, which implies that there are some leaders who were elected due to that influence of bribery. So the question is there going to be action?
Get me really clear on bribery. Bribery, me have said it exists. I'm not even talking of Kololo only. I'm talking of bribery in structural elections, in flag bearer elections, everywhere. But if you confine me that I have said there was bribery, that is a distortion.
So
I'm saying there is bribery throughout, from the structural election, from the grassroots. And that is why I'm saying we have called on the chairman to prevail. And I have said the chairman, to a big extent, has warned, has cautioned, has called all of us to order. But it is work in progress. So I am not only saying that I have seen corruption in Kololo. I'm saying it is a challenge that exists in the party and possibly in the national election, not only in the party, even in national election. So it is a vice that is identified. Remember, we have had structural elections for leaders of the party. Then we came to flag bearers for the party. And now, Kololo is the last thing. But some of us started mentioning bribery, even at structural election. So it's not something new.
Whether you agree they are beneficiaries of that practice in this last election.
This last election, at the moment, I can't say I even saw bribery. Did you see it yourself? Did you see it? No, answer me. Did you see the bribery?
I did see it because I was not there.
Now, if you didn't see it and you expected me to see it.
I heard from the candidates.
Opio, did you see the bribery?
I heard from the candidates.
Did you see, Opio, the bribery?
I was in Gulu. How can I see?
So, what did they tell you?
But at least for me, I have a statement from the Honorable Mukula.
You know what is
and
surprising?
He said the following words.
What did he say?
He said,
what did he say?
That, however, the ongoing campaign process has regrettably been grossly compromised. The exercise has been marred by widespread corruption, open voter bribery, and reckless expenditure of huge sums of money to influence the delegates. The very same sentiment was raised by Honorable Kadaga, Rebecca Kadaga on the microphone. The very same sentiment was raised by Sanjay Tana. The very same sentiment was raised by the one you've just told me now, Chris Bariomunsi. So, and the video clips we got from Kololo, where money. Why must it be money?
In fact, Uhuru sacks of money.
I have said,
the Deputy Speaker talked about 5 billion shillings.
I have said
5 billion.
I have said and conceded that in as far as bribery is concerned, we have noticed from the structural election, from the flag bearer election. Now, Kololo is just a subset of it. It's a small thing because we're talking of a national thing from the grassroots.
So
if I have considered,
Kololo was the epitome.
If I have considered that we have watched this from structural elections, from flag bearer elections, and I have said we have called on the chair to prevail, I wonder what consciousness we want to draw can extract from here by emphasizing on Kololo. I have accepted the universal, and you are concentrating on the subset.
All right. So if you can conclude.